Hello, Purple Math folks. So today we're talking about probability. And probability, I think, is one of my favorite math things to learn about. So remember that if you ask your parents or guardians if you can do something and they say probably, does that mean that they're definitely going to let you do it? Does it mean that they won't let you do it? No, it just means that it's likely, right? And if they say probably, we want to know how likely is it, right? Like if you say, can you take me to Disneyland? And they say probably. We want to know, like, okay, is it 99% sure going to happen, or is it like 20% maybe it'll happen, right? And so probability is figuring out how likely something is to happen. So we've talked in the past about words like certain and likely and unlikely and impossible. Okay, and we've done that this year, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But remember, certain means that it absolutely 100% is going to happen every time. There's no way it won't happen, right? If I flip a coin, it is certain that it's going to land on heads or tails, right? That's the only thing that can happen. Likely means it'll probably happen. Okay, if I roll a dice, it is likely to be a 1, 2, 3, or 4. Right? It'll probably be a 1, 2, 3, or 4. Could it be something else? Yeah, it could be a 5 or a 6, right? So it's not going to happen every single time like it would if it's certain, but it'll happen most times. Unlikely means it probably won't happen, right? It's unlikely for me to roll a dice and get a 1. I could. It'll happen, but most of the time it'll be a 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, right? So that's unlikely. And then impossible means it'll never happen. I can't roll a dice and get a W. Right? There's no W on the dice. Won't happen. Could never ever happen. I could spend the rest of my life rolling a dice over and over and over and over again. I would never ever ever get a W. Okay, that's impossible. But today we're going to talk about probabilities like that they are fractions is kind of what we're starting to think about. Okay, and we'll do it more specifically tomorrow, but that's kind of the focus for today, is starting to think about probabilities like fractions. Okay, so remember that for fractions, my pen's being weird, our bottom number is the whole, or it's all the different things that could happen. So for this first one, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 options. So my bottom number is 7. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 ways of getting an A. All right, we can get an A there, 1, there, 2, there, 3, and there, 4. So we would say that the probability of getting an A on the spinner is 4 out of 7. And the probability of getting a B or a C. Let's see. Probability of getting a B or a C. 1, 2, 3 over 7. So which one is more likely? To get an A or to get a B? Yeah, to get an A, right? There's more ways to get an A than to get a B or a C. So we would say that spinning an A is likely, and spinning a B or a C is unlikely. Okay? So when it asks you for all the possible outcomes or how many outcomes, you're just going to check your spinner or think about it, right? If it says, what are the possible outcomes of flipping a coin? Well, if I flip a coin, I could get a heads or I could get a tails, right? And then whichever one is most likely to land on, that's going to be what is likely. So let's do the first one together, and then the rest should make sense. So looking at the spinner at the right for exercises 1 through 3, it says there are blank outcomes, blank and Z. Well, so looking at it right away, I can see what the other outcome is, right? X. That's easy. So I'm going to put X down. And then how many total outcomes are there? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 outcomes. There are 6 things that we could land on. Could land on that x, or that z, or that x, or that z. And then it says landing on blank is likely because blank sections are blank. So let's write it as a fraction to help us out. We know that 6 is our bottom number. How many x's are there? There are 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would say 4 over 6, and z is 2 over 6. Where did I put? Oh, right there, my finger. 4 over 6 for x, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 over 6 for z, 1, 2. So which one is more likely? Yeah, the x. We would say landing on x is likely because 4 sections are x. And if landing on x is likely, then landing on z is unlikely because how many sections were z? 2 sections are z. All right, that's all it is for today. I hope that this makes sense. Give me a call or a text or an email if you need any help, and I will help you work through it. If not, I will try to call you during your time. Have a great day. Bye.